Everyone, my name is Donnie Lowy from Closeout The next time you're in New York, you're welcome to visit my warehouse. So today I'd like to talk to you about cheap wholesale suppliers for boutiques. Now, I might not really recommend, this approach. I know there's some people who want, to find the lowest price merchandise. So I want to give you some ideas on how to do it. But I also want to give you my personal opinion, especially if you're running a boutique. You want to have exclusive merchandise. You want to have brand name. You want to have designer merchandise. You want to have merchandise that's different than what's available elsewhere in the marketplace. But if you are, you insist, you want to look for, cheap merchandise. I know there is a demand and there's a place in the market for all type of merchandise. So I'm going to give you some ideas. So one of the things that you could do is you could approach importers who import generic and private label merchandise and look at what they have available. The merchandise is not going to be, of the class of brand name or designer merchandise, but they could still have some private label or generic merchandise that looks really nice. Maybe the importer paid someone to make a new design or a new style, and it's pretty nice. Maybe the importer, got lucky and found a closeout overseas, which is really good. They bring it to your market and they're able to sell it on a cheap basis. And in that case, it might even be brand name or might even be designer merchandise. So that's one approach. And another thing you could do is you can actually go to wholesalers who supply boutiques and find out if they have any merchandise which you haven't been able to sell, or any merchandise which is slightly out of season or slightly, out of style, but it's still nice enough, or it still looks stylish enough that you believe your customers will buy it. So, that's another approach. But of course, it's going to be challenging because if the merchandise is out of style, people aren't going to buy it unless the price is very low. So you're going to have to make sure to buy that merchandise at an even lower price. And, as I mentioned earlier, in my opinion, you're always better, going up in the marketplace, meaning, look for higher quality merchandise, look for brand name stuff, for designer goods. Now, one way that I know people in the closeout business are able to get, really cheap merchandise and supply to boutiques is by going to up-and-coming designers who need to close out their merchandise. Let's say designer had production left over from the last season and the merchandise is beautiful, they'll buy that merchandise. Or if a designer goes out of business and needs to liquidate, their merchandise, they'll close out. People like myself will buy their merchandise, but we'll only buy it, or at least I'll only buy it if the merchandise is really good quality, if it's very fashionable, if it's stylish, and if my customers could have a potential margin that could work for them. Alright, so the next time you're in New York, you're welcome to visit my warehouse. My website is closeoutexplosion.com. And one thing I do want to mention, whether you're selling high-end merchandise in a boutique or you're selling cheaper merchandise in a boutique, remember that the purpose of a boutique is to distinguish itself from the other discount stores that are around, other retailers that are around, because people are going to a boutique because it has something unique. Once a boutique has the same merchandise as everyone else, then yeah, technically someone could consider it a boutique, but practically people are not going to view it that way. So always, to leave you the positive note, always look for nice, unique merchandise that'll make you proud of having a boutique, and that your customers will feel impressed by it and they'll be excited to come shop at your boutique. Thank you very much. My website is closeoutexplosion.com. Have a great day.